Now that the worst of the floods is over, the focus has to return to resilience, making sure every effort is made to prevent the extent of the disasters we've seen from happening again. In Western Sydney, part of that effort simply has to be to raise the wall of Warragamba Dam, which spilled earlier this week. The Liberal candidate for the seat of Macquarie and serving Hawkesbury councillor Sarah Richards agrees. She's on the line from Sydney. Sarah, raising the wall is an obvious solution. Tell me that we can push the Green conflict on this away and move on and save people's lives and livelihoods.
Yes, thank you, Chris. And we must always, before I start on why I'm so passionate about raising the dam wall, is we must always take into account those environmental factors. And the New South Wales State Government has done the environmental impact statement, which was open to the public for comment, and that closed in December. Now, as you can see behind me, I'm standing at North Richmond. That is a swollen river, Hawkesbury River behind me. It has gone down and it still is going down. But this was our third flood in 3 years, our second significant flood in 2 years. Now, each flood over those last 3 years has increased in size. And I'm on the record for the last 5.5 years as a Hawkesbury councillor supporting the raising of the Warragamba Dam wall as part of a suite of mitigation factors to protect our community.
Yeah, mitigation. And it's not about one solution. This won't solve the problems of reoccurring floods or the extent of those floods, but it will contribute, won't it?
It certainly will. And the New South Wales State Government have done years' worth of studies and they've, in fact, in their documents showing all the different ways they can protect this community, there are 9 mitigation factors that are at play. And number 2 is the raising of the Warragamba Dam wall. That is in addition to educating the community, which they have been doing over the last few years really well about the dangers of the floods. And in fact, that this floodplain is the most dangerous in New South Wales, if not all of Australia. And we have seen that. Other mitigation factors, of course, include fixing up our evacuation routes, and the New South Wales and federal government announced over $30 million just a couple of months ago towards planning to increase the resilience of those evacuation routes.
And maybe a little bit of work done on new development in flood-prone areas wouldn't be bad either. One quick thing, do you think you'll get your government, the New South Wales government, on side to put this through?
I've been communicating with ministers from the New South Wales State Government and, of course, Stuart Ayres, who is the Minister for Western Sydney and is in Penrith, whose seat of Penrith, of course, is on that same Hawkesbury-Nepean Valley floodplain. And he has been very loud and proud about his advocacy for the project. And I'll continue my conversations with the right ministers about why we need this dam wall raised.
Push hard, push hard. We've got to contribute to the mitigation of what we saw in the last 2 weeks.